Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine and today I'm going to talk about old school. This is especially for the millennials so that they know a bit of history. Things were not as they are at the moment. I'm going to talk about hairstyles, the fashion, the music system, the videos. Let's start with the hairstyles. You see, some of these hairstyles that we have were long time ago there, so they're not the first time. Millennials, the first people having this kind of hairstyle that you think you're having now. Things like the afro come back, the afros. Those were the hairstyles those days, Michael Jackson kind of people, Kool and the Gang. If you had an afro, you are the one. The punk, the punk, cut this side, and leave a block in the middle. Now that was a punk. Those were the hairstyles. And then we never used to have things like relaxers before. The relaxers were never there before for the afro hair. If you wanted your hair straight, you had to use a comb. That one. You had to use it, put it on the heat, a metal comb, put it on the heat, and then pass it through your hair to make it straight. And then it was not only making it straight, it was as well burning it. It was causing permanent hair damage to the hair. Of course, what else to the hair? Of course, the hair that you're putting on. Then, for those of you who could not afford that metal comb, you had to break a pot. These pots that are used for, those were now the fridges, the fridges to keep water cool, which is very healthy actually, traditional kind of, makes the water very cool. In a pot, put in a pot, the water we used to put in a pot, and then when you drink it, it's quite cold and has this earthy kind of taste, which is very nice, especially if you have iron deficiency. So if you didn't have that metal comb, you had to break a piece of pot, okay, or you use a broken one already, because if you break the pot, you'll be breaking your fridge. So you burn that broken piece of pot, and then you use it on your hair. It even had a stronger effect than the hot comb itself. Permanent. And then the rollers, Instead of rolling your hair with a sponge, you fold some pieces of paper, fold pieces of paper, then make them straight, and then turn your hair around it to make the curls. Sleep on them, and then in the morning when you remove it, the hair is very curly. It used to be simple, cheap stuff, which can as well be used up to now if you're broke, man. You don't have to go and buy those things, expensive thing, or put chemicals in your hair to damage it. You can still do it naturally. Make it straight, things like that. And then we used to have different styles of plaiting hair, just lines, natural, nothing like adding anything like synthetics on your hair. So the hair was very healthy actually, no chemicals, no addition of extensions. That's why you used to see very strong afros. But these days it's very hard to get to the level of an afro because hairs have been damaged by chemicals, by I don't know what. Those days people make the simple lines, no need to put any extension that will add weight to your hair, and that used to make you get a very healthy afro, full hair on your head. Let's come to the games. The games were very funny actually. These days most of the kids, I'm sure, will grow up like this, zombies, because most of the time they're on their phones, they're on their laptop, they're on their smartphones, and their heads never look up. So I'm sure most of these kids will grow up with curved necks and maybe hunchbacks. You never know. because they never lift their heads up. Most of the time they're on the phone. But those days, there was a lot of interaction amongst the kids, and that's why they're very strong friendships in the old generation. You see, people still have the very young kid friends up to now. Now they've grown up, but they still have the old friends because there was a lot of interaction face to face than online. These days, it's all fake. People waste their time on the phones, online friends, online everything online, which is faster, but not strong enough like those days. So the millennials, our games used to be clapping hands, for the girls especially. I even forgot the name of that game where you're just clapping each other's hands. And funny enough, it was fun, clapping hands in different styles, slapping each other's hands in different styles. The kids understand why it's fun. But when you grow up, you look at them and wonder, now what's the fun there? And then the football. You didn't have to wait to be bought for a ball before you can play football. You'll all collect all pieces of newspaper, put them together, and then tie plastic around them with some old piece of rag, rope from an old piece of rag, and there you are. Your football is made. And I tell you, believe me, that ball will last longer than the modern ball. And yet it was just made of papers. But I tell you, sometimes it will be so thick that you can break your foot. And then we heard this thing of, instead of electric cars like these days, we'll just make boxes, a box, tie a rope on the box, and pull each other on the grass. That was fun. Now that was your electric car. You don't have to drive it. Somebody's pulling it for you. Then there are these things of, wheels, your tires, old tires for the cars. You will hit them, boom, boom, and have car races on those ones also. Or just put a wire on an old bicycle wheel and push it. It was quite fun, that's for the boys especially. And then come to the TVs. These days we have smart TVs, flat screen, very light. Those days, I tell you, would be as heavy as a brick, man. And they had antennas, like keep adjusting to get the proper network, turn the antenna that way, turn it this way, so that you get a proper network. Very nice TVs, and they are very long lasting, man. You'll stay with it for years. It was black and white, And then if it's not working, if it's gone to a bad state, you will hit boom so that you get the network. Hit it hard enough if the if the antennas are not working properly. You've tried all the directions, the antenna is not working. Hit it. Then it will come back to its senses and it will show you news and a few movies of James Bond. Then we come to, there was James Bond, there was Gemini Man. What else was there? Fantasy Islands, things like that. Cartoons for those who love, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, those kind of cartoons. Even cartoons were well behaved, not like these days, But still, you have the nicest one. Tom and Jerry still is existing even for the older people. Come to the videos, videos. We have very heavy video players, video tapes that you had in one movie, put it in I've even forgotten the name of that stuff, where you put in and play in the you put it in the video player and you watch the movie. So you have a lot of them, like a library of videos aligned there, not like CDs. Even CDs I think are outdated by now. Videos, and then CDs came. Same to the music, old radios, and then you insert in a tape recorder to play the music, and if it's spoiled, then you use a pen to rotate it, take it back. You press rewind, press forward, press everything. Everything was pressed forward, backward, like that. No remote control. Everything was manual and very interesting. The fashion. Ladies, if you had a figure belt, you are the one. You are the one. If you had a figure belt, you are the best. No jokes. And if you're a guy and you had a baggy trouser, those ones that are checked, big checks, checked ones, you are the guy. And then if your trousers will, sometimes you're not wearing a baggy, then you should be dressed like Michael Jackson with your trouser reaching just above your ankle, and then you wear white socks, you know. Michael Jackson, now that was the fashion, guys. Dancing, break dance was the in thing. Break dance, and you know, moonwalk kind of dances, guys. So, guys, that was the life before, and people will see each other's faces. These days, people only see each other's faces when there is a blackout, and when there is no Wi-Fi, that is, then people can see each other's faces. They even forget how they look like. Things like that. And if there's a blackout, it's like you've removed a life machine out of them. They go to sleep. So, guys, that was the life in the 80s and 90s, so that the millennials can also know. So in order to know more about my stuff, different topics, like, subscribe, and share to my Kathy channel. My name is Catherine. Ciao.